Okay, so we'll just put this DJI mic on. Maybe. Right. So, this was an idea of Julian. Julian said, for your Sunday sessions, how about calling it like a vlog news, or like a news week, or like a video for just making up like a news week for vlogging, and I thought that wasn't a bad idea. So we'll start this one with a memorial. We've lost 3 people. This will be the first episode like making a news weekly thing. It might not be weekly, who knows. So I'll start with a memorial now. Right, and I've got notes. As you know, I don't usually use notes, so you have to excuse me if I start reading. And that is a piano. Okay. Last night it was a bit of an epiphany. I had an hour before I had to go to bed, sort of thing, and I thought, first thing you do in the day, I bring up my subscriptions on YouTube, and I watch Russ, I look for Julian, I look for all my subscription people like that, because Russ is on every day, and I'll start with him. And then I got to the last hour of my day and I thought, let's just check the recommended feed. There's a trick to this. So with the recommended feed, it came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't quote me, I've been writing this all down. 6, 7, 8. About 9 people who I'd never heard of before, who are making very similar videos to what I've been making since 2022, i.e. walking around Melbourne, filming the way of life of Melbourne, what's going on in Melbourne. Now, 8 of these 9 people are in Melbourne. And for whatever reason, they've never been recommended to me by YouTube. Go figure. So my last hour was spent studying these people. And also, another one came up, which wasn't a bad idea. Chris, and you're going to have to just forgive me if I get the names a bit wrong, but they'll all be in the link down the bottom in the description, you know how I work. Chris Wicklas, or Wicklas, he's from America, or North America somewhere. He made a vlog as a short. Now, I'll get to that by the end of this video, how that relates to this new monetization thing that I've got to tell you about. So moving on. Pete Mellows brought out the 4th video since my last Sunday session. It's been a few weeks, but I've had funerals and birthdays and effectively 3 deaths in the family to deal with. Pete Mellows, latest one, he's wandering around, I call it the Highlands of Tassie anyway. He's a landscape photographer that I met up in Hobart. And I do like his ideas. He's down the south. When I was up in the north of Tassie, we used to go around the rainforest. They got Arctic rainforests up there. And there's a place called Priolina, which I might put a video up in here as well. He's a really good photographer. So I'll put his video down the bottom and you can watch it. And I love the way he talks and presents on the videos. It's a perfect way of presenting. The next one I found, this all came up in my recommended feed. And normally Pete I would have seen in my sub list, but it didn't come up. And I'll talk about another thing Pete did at the end. Rajan Hamidovic. It sounds Yugoslavian, but I'm not too sure he doesn't look Yugoslavian. It was the soul of Sydney. It's a POV, it's a walk around taking photos, and I'm going to Sydney in February on a bus. You would have seen that if you go to my community tab. And it's actually given me some good ideas, but just the way he filmed it and the way the thumbnail's done. The thumbnail really caught my eye because you've got his face and you've got what looks like ghosts. It was a really good thumbnail, and watching through the video I saw how it was done, so it wasn't really clickbait. It was a good video. I'm rushing through these. I could probably spend way too long talking about each one. There's some interesting names. We're Australian, just remember this, okay? Busy feet travel walking. Walking. Rainy evenings, that's another YouTuber. These two both are very similar. Both make videos walking around Melbourne. Both don't talk on their videos. Can't show you, it's over there. I love using that camera, the M1 Mark II, to film short moments of life in Melbourne. I felt compelled that I need to talk over them. These two people are making those same sort of videos, but are not talking over the videos. They're letting you see the city. It's just food for thought for me, because I'm trying to figure out what this channel needs, and that wasn't a bad idea. And these are small channels, so if you can go and watch their videos, subscribe to them and support them, you'll be going a long way to helping building up this community down here. And I mean, who doesn't like a YouTube channel name called Rainy Evenings, especially when you're in Melbourne, and you would know by now it rains all the time down here if you've been watching this channel. Getting comfortable, and I better turn this one over because my page got a bit screwed up. Hang on, bear with my very unprofessional news reading skills here. Yep, so Getting Comfortable and Jeremy Pine were a little bit more POV. They're still both Melbourne. Getting Comfortable, I think, was the one that was, Getting Comfortable was using the new Nikon ZR. So it was showing you how to make videos with the ZR. Is the ZR better than the M1 Mark II? I don't know. I really think as long as you can get C4, like you can get 4K and you can get it in 24-bit, and you can color edit, you can use any camera. As long as you can get that. Most people are going to watch in 1080 anyway. I've got a camera behind me that can do 6K, but I haven't tried that yet. The ZR looks nice, but it's 3 times the price of the camera I'm using, and you know, money doesn't grow on, you can't see it, the olive tree over here. Jeremy Pine, he used a film camera, Nikon I believe, Nikon for North Americans. 3 rolls of film, going around North Fitzroy mainly, so a little bit north of what you'd see on my channel mostly, but I do have some Fitzroy videos on here. Fitzroy is where my family lived 100 years ago, right up to World War II. So he's running, don't quote me, but it's about a 40-year-old film camera with 3 rolls of pretty modern film, and portrait is not cheap film. Once again, he comes onto the video halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, and then it goes from being a B-roll video of Melbourne and Fitzroy with the occasional photo inserted, which aren't related to the B-roll, to a POV related to the B-roll. So he actually changes the format of the video halfway through. I need ideas. How do I get ideas? I watch YouTube. ANGOA, Anjo? ANG space OA. Another Melbourne one. Very, very, very much like me, but with a hell of a better ability of actually keeping it short. I think it's 1:53. Don't quote me because it was 24 hours ago, but hey, I might be right. It's around 2 minutes. B-roll footage of Melbourne, which, as you know, I love doing. And he's reading, he's doing the Dead Poets Society is the thumbnail. He's doing basically the poetry for Melbourne. Now, I haven't done poetry so much. I do the narrative, it's a narrative video, and I do the narratives, but I try and keep it a little bit cinematic or a little bit melancholy, depending on what the weather is and what my mood is. So, and there's no one here too that I wanted to talk to you about. Roger, that's the easy name, CAI, is his last name. That's the YouTube tag. He's just, these are small, okay? These are not Hollywood producing people. Sounds of Melbourne, using B-roll as well, but he's recording sounds. Now, for a month, I've been walking home from the train station, and I'm not sure if this is going to be picked up by the microphone, but when I'm walking home, I carry this, and I get the sounds of the walking home. And I just put them in a folder on my Macintosh, on my iMac. And the whole concept is if I need the sounds of a car revving its engine or any sort of special effects sound, I've got a file with those sounds, you know. I can't always get a car or a siren or a dog barking or some weird sounds on here. And because I don't save them by the names, we've got no idea what we're going to play here, but we'll play something. Okay, let's play this. That's the sound of the swamp, actually, behind my house. There's a swamp here. Right, so I'll skip that one. Okay. Now, let's go back one or two. Let's try that one. I think that's the one I'm looking for. Nope, that's not it. Anyway, I might find these eventually. Anyway, not that I know what I'm doing on that. I should have actually probably put them separately, but I might find you one. Carry around a recorder. Now, you don't have to. I'll put a link for this. $100, it's better than this, but you can do the same on your mobile phone. Make sounds of your city, of, you know, Russ could do one opening up a taco packet. I've got sounds here of everything under the sun, from dogs barking to cars screeching around the horn, to the sound of cars going over speed humps, to trams, to ambient sounds of people just standing, like I'm standing in front of the clocks. Talking Melbourne term here. The clocks is Flinders Street Station entrance. It's got a big clock face on the front, like multiple clocks that tell you the times of when the trains are going to leave. And it's nicknamed the clocks, okay? Front stairs to the train station, Central Station. So when I'm at the clocks, I can stand there. And you get hundreds of people a minute going past you, especially in peak hour, just streaming through. And you can record it. You don't get any sounds of people saying, you know, I'm going to go shoot this person, or I'm going to go buy this, I'm going to do that. It's just chitty chatter, chitty chatter, chitty chatter. Use it on your B-roll. Sometimes you need it, because sometimes those B-rolls are just way too quiet, especially when I make B-rolls at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. I really need more sound at that time of night. So I'm going to keep that video nice and short. Everybody I've talked about, I'm going to put down the bottom. Give them some support. Once again, thanks to Julian for giving me the idea of trying to become a news reporter. But we'll try and use these vlogs to keep creating and helping people. What else was I going to talk to you about? The important thing. I don't know if I should make a separate video or not make a separate video on it. But I need my North American friends, I need my Hindu Indian friends, I need my Canadians, you know, North Americans, and you Mexicans, to go, if you're on Facebook, can you like my photography page? There is a monetary reason for this. I will get to it. When I had my YouTube account deleted by YouTube and then reinstated in a couple hours, the one thing they didn't put back on my YouTube account, yes, they gave me back my sub list, but they couldn't reinstate my watch hours. So I'm basically got a YouTube account with 11,000 subs, and I think I've got 1,500 watch hours. I can't get monetized now. I'm stuck. I need to get monetized because, quite simply, I've got bills to pay. I've got no car, and I'm going to thought I'll get monetized, and I'll just fix one problem up at a time in my life. You go back now, less than 12 months ago, Facebook monetised Melbourne Pics, which for Melbourne Pics and this channel here started at the same time, 3 years ago, 2022. And this channel used to be called Melbourne Pics. So if you're a long-term subscriber to this channel, you'll actually still see it as Melbourne Pics or something like it doesn't update. But if you've subscribed in the last 12 months, you see it as ATM Lens, Australia Through My Lens. Melbourne Pics on Facebook has got 5,000 and something followers. It was earning $2 or $3 a month. Give that to you in Facebook terms, 6 cents per view on your post, your story, your reel and your video. Reels and videos are different. Posts and stories are different. So there's 4 categories, all right? I put a video up 3 weeks ago. Yeah, most of my videos will get, up until then, 1,000 views, you know, and you get 6 cents, and it doesn't matter, and it wasn't helping, and it wasn't doing anything, and I was just ignoring it, you know. Monetise, yes. Earning money, no. So I ignored it. I put this video up, and in the space of 9 hours, it hit 220,000 views. In any sort of jack language, that's never happened to me. And it hasn't happened again since then. I don't call that viral, but Facebook paid $37.50 for a 200,000 view video. That, you know, we can't afford the price of eggs here at the moment. $37 can buy you, well, they had a watermelon for sale the other day for $28, but $37 can buy you lunch. And I thought, that was literally 8 seconds standing in the rain with my phone like that, trying to keep my phone dry, trying not to shake because it was absolutely freezing, filming people walking through the rain. It took 8 seconds of my time to make. It involved no post editing. I just wrote on there spring weather, you know. I put a title, like a description on the video. That's the only post bit I did. So a minute of post editing. Nothing got touched for hours on Facebook. I put it on there, it didn't get watched, and then I think I can't remember if it's 5 or 7 hours in, it went from that to that, and then in the first 24 hours, 200,000 views, and in 3 weeks it's at 220,000. It's still earning money. So that's what I say. If you can go to Melbourne Pics, link in description, and follow me on that, it will help my channel in 2 ways. One, it's going to help me earn a few more cents, and 2, it's going to help me convince Facebook that I'm not just in Australia. At the moment, there's 97% of the followers on that group, on that page, are from Australia. 3% are from overseas, 1% from the United States, and 2% from about 20 other countries. If in the monetisation goal list that Facebook gave me today, they said you need to get an international audience. And I thought, okay, I'm talking about Melbourne, Australia, and I'm taking photos of landscape and city, pretty much the city. And I do a lot of Weather Channel photos on there. I thought, okay, the only way I'm going to get an international audience on there is to ask my international followers on here. If you're on Facebook, just like the page, it'll keep Zuckerberg happy. So this month will be the first month in nearly a year that I'll actually get all up, I think it's $41 from Facebook. Because every video since then has actually had more views. Like going up to this 200,000 view one, it was 700, 800,000 views. Since then we've had videos of 2,000 and 3,000 views. Nowhere near 200,000, but still, Facebook has put the page into my country's audience. YouTube has never done anything close to helping me like that. I was monetised from 2012 to about 2015, 2016, and I would have to produce a video a day. I was monetised through Maker's Workshop. It's a German company. I would have to produce at least 5 videos a week. I would have to have their company logo on the video, and at the end of the month I would average about $5 a video, $5 a week, so about $1 a video, and they wouldn't pay you until you'd hit, I think, $100. So effectively you you would go 4 months without getting any money, and for 4 months you were producing videos constantly. This is on the Jack Beltane YouTube account. And it just got ridiculous. You know, I was getting paid $1 for 5 to 6 hours work to promote a company that was making huge amounts of money, I guess. It was taking my content and it was using my content. Facebook, I never asked to be monetized. They sent me a congratulatory message saying you're in the top 1 million people that we've chosen to try this monetization, and everybody's getting put onto it. You go to your professional tab if you've got a page. And my Melbourne Picks page was set up as a business page with an ABN, so it wasn't set up as a personal page, it was set up as a business page, because in 2022 I thought I was going to lose my job and I needed a photography page in case I had to become a professional paid photographer. That's why that page was set up. And now I just put photos on there. I don't get political on there. I don't vlog on there. I try and keep the page as neutral. I like to get on a soapbox, I like to whinge, I like to complain. I'm Dutch, you know, we get a bit arrogant with things, and I've got a bit of Chinese in me, I've got a bit of Scottish in me, I've got a lot of Irish in me. You know. I like to complain, you know, I like the soapbox, I like to talk. What I do on Melbourne Picks is I put the photos up, and I might put a little catchy thing in, like, you know, bring your antihistamine or go and get your gumboots. But I don't actually put my political opinion on there. And I think that's why people like it, because a lot of the Facebook pages where they've got photographers in Melbourne, they take cheap shots at politicians or cheap shots at the police, or, you know, they get very political and they target things. And there are places on Facebook for that, but it's not for me to do it there. I want to concentrate on taking photos and improving my photography. And I've got a really good die-hard group of fans on there that have been on there for 3 years now that are really good people. Anyway, this news broadcast has gone way too long. We're going to finish with the weather, because all news services finish with the weather. And today, my photo I submitted at midday got put on the Channel 7 News tonight on their weather. So they used my photo for the weather. So I'll finish this up with my weather photo and then the weather reporter standing in front of it. And that'll give me a chance to chuck some thumbnails on. Ciao, people.